All right, you guys, I have a brand new series today. We're gonna call this a Business Spotlight in Las Vegas. And today I have the great pleasure to have Sara Ramthun. Sara, thanks for being on the very first episode of our show.
That's exciting.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not know that.
I didn't tell you.
I'm the first.
I'm trying to not to make you nervous. So one of the best, one of the most popular business in our sports today is meal prep. A lot of companies now have been popping over the years for meal prep. In the past, you never heard of that. You know, back in the day, you know, everyone was preparing your own food and stuff. Now it's so popular. We actually met at one of the actually Jay's bodybuilding show for the first time with Sara, and she had a booth over there. And basically, she talked to me a little bit about her business, and I thought it was so interesting that I decided to do a story on her. So we're here in her kitchen. It's Sunday afternoon at about 3 o'clock, and Sara invited us to basically talk a little bit about how she started, you know, doing the meal prep cooking. She's actually an ex-competitor. So tell me a little bit about how, what you used to do and how you fell into this business, why you decided to do this.
Okay. I started my fitness journey about 6 to 7 years ago, and I went in and I lost 50 pounds. So I found that I had a passion for this. I went into triathlon, I went all about into swimming and everything, and I ended up with an injury during running, and that's how I got into weightlifting. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't wanna gain my weight back. I looked at the other side of the gym and I was like, maybe I'll go over there. I started putting on muscle and I loved the change in my body. I started hiring and working with coaches, and they started teaching me about macronutrients and how to balance my meals to make my goals. It started there, and I've always been very nerdy with the numbers, and so I was like psycho with writing my plans and following them and weighing my food, and I was all about it. So I started doing that. I transformed my body even more. I went from thick to super skinny to then a muscular look that was in the middle.
Okay.
And then I became a personal trainer. So I was a server serving tables for 10 years.
Okay.
And I started off in a kitchen where I was a cook, a dishwasher, worked my way up to the front, and I became manager of that kitchen for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of my kitchen experience comes from before the fitness journey.
I see.
Then after that, I got into the personal training. I was a personal trainer at Snap Fitness for 4 years.
Okay.
And I did NASM certified and nutrition coaching. Then when COVID hit, the gyms closed.
Yeah.
And I had no income. So I was like, I am a workaholic. I've been a single mom for 13 years. I've worked 3 jobs all that time. I did not know what to do at the time on my hands. I started building gym equipment in my apartment. I built a whole gym room. I was training clients like crazy. We were meeting. The biggest thing was, how was I going to survive the COVID hit?
Right.
And so I started selling my personal meals right from home.
Okay.
And from there, I started then selling to my clients and customizing their macros for them that I had already written their plans. And how do I keep them on track? We didn't know how long COVID was going to be.
Right.
It went so
2
much
weeks,
further.
2 weeks.
Yeah, you know. And when I realized it wasn't 2 weeks, that's when I started feeding them. I was like, hey guys, what are we going to do? So they started buying my meals for me. I started making them bulk. They would freeze them to hold us over for the month. And after that, it just continued to grow.
Wow.
I started reaching out. I started posting it, and then people started ordering from Henderson and Vegas and this and that. And next thing I know, I was like, this is really a thing. I was like, what do I don't know, you know? And so I reached out to a girlfriend that I had known since high school, and she had her own company and gigs. She gave me, this is what you got to do to legalize. This is the process. It's quite the thing. And
make it a real business.
Yes. Yep. And so she explained to me all the steps, and it was like a list that I was like, oh my gosh. But 3 months later, this thing, it was paying more than the bills. And so I saved the money on top of paying the bills to legalize it. And in 3 months, by January, I was a legal business. From there, I put the staff, gym, the food places were always open this whole time. So getting into a kitchen was not an issue. Finding work in the kitchen was not hard. But I didn't want to go back to the restaurant industry working for the man and not helping people. My passion was helping people, and that was like, I was in refusal to leave that community. That's how we got into the commissary kitchen. From there, I started with one employee, and he's not here today, but he and I, we grinded out. We started off doing about 100 meals a week, which at the time was great, you know. Then with all the overhead, it was immediately, we've got to grow.
Yeah.
And that's when I went to the Cutler show.
Yeah.
And before that, I did a Samson show. Cutler was my second booth ever.
Okay.
And that booth was like just the table and just banners. And then you guys saw a year later, my booth was like blown up. And so now, you know, we've 4 times our business since in the past year. And this thing is well operating. I have 5
How many
employees.
meals do you do now compared to before?
We do in between 300 and 400 meals a week.
Wow. So from 100 to 400.
Yes.
So quadruple.
In 18 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's sometimes it feels like it's grown faster than I expected to, and then sometimes it's like, well, this is what I hoped for. But you know, so it's been one move at a time, and putting me in every position and then delegating them out to a new person, which thankfully with my 10 years restaurant experience, I was good at that.
Yeah. And how do you get the word out there? So is it mostly word of mouth or social media or a combination, or how do you?
Social media is my strongest advertiser.
Okay.
I post every week, all the time. Fridays and Saturdays, my windows closes on Saturday. I do almost 30 posts in those 2 days.
Oh wow.
Every time I throw the line out, orders come in.
Wow.
So, yes, every post.
What is the Instagram?
The Instagram, it's Real Prep Meal Prep.
Real Prep Meal Prep. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
And then same on Facebook too.
Same on Facebook. We'll put that in there.
And those are the 2 that I use. I do use TikTok occasionally, but only to make videos with the sounds and stuff. And I'll refer you to the website, but that's just for creative videos. Other than that, then putting myself on the floor is the second. People talking to me, be understanding that I understand nutrients, especially talking to athletes or people who really care. Real Prep, Meal Prep is a little bit different than other companies because it is the real deal meal prep. It is, and by that, I couldn't name it that because then it sounds like, you know, dollar loan, I don't know, you know, something real deal. So I named it Real Prep Meal Prep because it is the real thing. There's no gimmicks, there's no flour, no gluten, no sugar, no dairy, which some people, that's scary sounding, and that's okay. We've learned to flavor things very well. So I can feed people who are on day 1 and they will love the flavor of the meals. People have almost like a fear of healthy thinking. When I do my taste boosts, I commonly get people who are kind of afraid to try my food because they see the no dairy, no sugar, and they're kind of like, that's not going to taste good. And I convince them, just come over, just come on. Like I started off, trust me, they taste good.
Yeah.
And they come and try them, and I see people's face light up. And they're just like, I didn't know healthy food could taste this good. And then they become regulars. The more challenging thing is talking to the elite or the professionals or the fighters, the people who know that everything matters. Every item. All the way down to their salt for some, you know, and then for my more normal crowd, salt can be a health issue. It can be a scare that they're dealing with the doctors. So all of our meals come low sodium, but I just encourage, if you want salt to the table. I add salt to all of my meals, you know, but for my customers, we keep it a little bit lower. That way they can dial that in. My hardest crowd to sell to would be the athletes. Because I think, like what I was saying about the other companies, and I love them all, you know, I've tried many of them, but when you get to a certain level of fitness, a lot of competitors or hardcore athletes have been let down by some companies because we know they're cooking with too much oil, they're cooking with too many seasonings, they're adding flours, they're adding dairies, they're adding the things that slow us down to make our goals. So that's where we stand apart. So sometimes I have to grab people and convince them in and say, just try my food for 2 weeks. You will progress, you will not regress, and my food will tell you itself that there's nothing hidden in here. And sometimes I've even gifted meals, and this is how I've had to earn some of these people's trust. I've gotten more and more in the community as I keep working with them. I've put several athletes on stage now, which is the hardest thing to convince. So with my company, we will also customize the diet plans.
Talk about some of the athletes you have. You have some actual pro athletes, competitors.
Yes. Yes.
Talk about some of the names you have on your rosters.
I work with Ron Stevens, who qualified for Olympia this year.
That's right, the Masters Olympia.
I've worked with Iris Kyle for over a year.
10-time Miss Olympia.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
10-time Miss Olympia.
Yes, 10 times Miss Olympia. Yes. I work with Lisa at Elevation.
Okay.
Lisa Malloy at Raw Fitness. Justin Blum. Even when Keon Pearson came for Olympia, I cooked for him that whole week he was in town.
Nice.
Yes. And he was referred. I think it was either Ron or Iris who sent him to me.
That's awesome.
Same thing though. He reached out to his pros he knew here, and they sent him right over to me.
That's great.
And then I have like Brian Alexis. We've got a group of them now.
Yeah. I know. I saw on your website. Yeah. Now, what's great also is that you don't just have regular meals. So you have preset meals, but you also customize.
Yes.
You sell by the pound or by like you sell so talk about that a little bit for people.
So we have them set. I have 3 sizes. So you've got like a small, medium, and large, or in more intricate term, 4, 6, and 8 ounce.
Yeah.
Then you, from there, a normal person would just select off of those. Many times I get calls, I help start them out when they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I take personal calls all the time. But for an athlete, someone who needs to customize, they can order to the grain, to the ounce, to the gram. I have several orders that I weigh every single item. I weigh their vegetables, to their carbs, to their protein, all of it.
Wow.
The more serious the athlete, the more they want things weighed. Then I have some flexible athletes that just want the wheat and then measuring scoops. But then I have people, I weigh their oil even.
Wow.
So, I mean, I have the passion for that.
So you do everything custom. If people say, okay, I want 50 grams of carbs, 40 grams of protein, X amount of veggies, you'll do that.
Yes.
So that's great.
Yes, we do it all.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have an example here for you, actually, I can show you. So this would be a competitor here. This is a competitor's meals.
I see. Nice.
So she is one of
great.
Iris's customers or clients, and she does the custom. But then I have all the way to a plan like this, which we actually just took his carbs out, but I will cook his whole week.
Okay.
So all 5 meals a day, from his eggs to all of his things.
Wow.
He puts his protein shakes in between, and I weigh it. This week we just took his carbs away. He's cutting for summer. So he's hungry.
That's
but
awesome.
Yes, we also do the bulk too.
Yes.
Bulk meat, bulk veggies, bulk carbs.
Is that popular? The people, I know Ron does that. He told me he gets all his protein and he just makes his own carbs.
A lot of them are more comfortable weighing their food themselves, so they buy my bulk products.
Yeah.
And some of them, they like me to do that work. It's up to the athlete.
Yeah.
But I have many customers that are just your regular average Joe that are ordering my shrimp for their fajita night. They make them for fajitas at home. They buy my garlic herb ground meat and they throw it in their pasta sauce. I have seen them make some creations out of my food. One of my customers is like, I'm going to take it to a potluck. I'm like, okay, you can claim it, go ahead, And
you can.
So, they just I'm like, just peel my sticker off, or you know what, leave it there, either one. But yeah, they love it. So my bulk menu is I wasn't sure how it was going to go,
That's a great
but
idea.
I kept getting asked for it. So I was like, I'll just try it.
Yeah.
And it sells every week. Every week I'm dishing out 3, 5, 7 pounds of meat. We've got containers now large enough. I have containers the size of cake pans to deliver that hold 3 pounds at a time. And it's just been growing from there.
Well, show me your kitchen a little bit. Where's your little guy?
Okay, Drayden. Come on over.
We're going to show him. We're going to give him some camera time a little bit. So every time I see you at gyms opening or shows, your little guy is always there. He's only 13 years old. You roped him into the family business.
Yep.
How do you like it working with your mom?
I think it's fun.
It's good?
Yeah.
Is he a good worker?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah?
You got to talk loud so the camera can hear. Yep, because I've got the microphone on.
Oh.
But yeah, so he enjoys it. I think he feels very important. I noticed his confidence has gone up. And
That's great.
He likes having the jobs. We've created him his own list. He comes in, he goes down his list, he sets up, he puts things together, he gets right to cutting, he peels the potatoes, and then Jeff comes in and chops them. And the Southern Nevada Health District does allow him in kitchen.
Oh, okay. Nice.
At the age of 13, he can qualify to be in here, but he's not allowed to handle hot food, and he's not allowed to handle knives.
Okay.
He can do potato peelers, he can measure rice, he can do water, he scrubs dishes, he does it all.
That's a lot of responsibility for a 13-year-old. And you don't mind helping your mom instead of working with your friends? Playing with your friends? You're a good boy. That's awesome.
So he's saving money.
He'll know how to cook when he's older too already. He'll probably be doing the cooking.
Yeah, he's been cooking since he was little. Yeah, but he's always been my helper everywhere.
Awesome.
But yeah, he's been getting a set rate. I pay him for Monday and Tuesday, and we opened up his bank account, and he's putting it in there.
Awesome.
Yep, we have a deal. He gets to save. He has to save a certain amount, and he gets a certain amount to spend.
What are you gonna get with all that money once you get a big amount? You get a car?
That's the biggest goal. I'm trying to get him prepared.
3 more years.
Yeah,
That's it.
I know.
That's awesome.
It's exciting.
All right. Yeah. What was his name?
Drayden.
Drayden. Nice to meet you, Drayden. All right.
All right.
All right. So show me your kitchen.
I'll bring you back. All right. So this is Edgar. Chef Edgar, you want to say hi?
Hi, Edgar.
Or hola.
Hola, okay.
Yes, Edgar would say hola. He comes in and teaches us Spanish all the time. So Edgar does our ground meat area.
Oh, okay.
And our top sirloin. So I prep his sirloin before you got here. I chop it, trim all the fat. We trim all the fat off of sirloin and chicken. We only do chicken breast, so everything's trimmed. So I set it up, weighed for him. Here's his cook sheet today. I have it all separated by his flavors, how many pounds he's cooking. Each recipe he dials in. I have my book here. So he goes through and he'll go through and find his recipes. Everything's measured to the dot. So every pound of meat is calculated in, so they're never over seasoning or under seasoning or messing with anyone's macros. So same with Alyssa. This is Alyssa.
Hi.
Yep. So she's been my longest employee. Alyssa's been with me almost since the start.
Oh, wow.
She knows the kitchen from front to back, every single section. She today does the chicken and the fish.
Okay.
Alyssa has I think as a ladylike feature. She's very graceful and makes things very pretty. So I like Alyssa on my fish because where guys are kind of more like, I got this. Alyssa's like, I got it all even. So she's better at keeping things nice and beautiful looking.
This is Drayden's
Alyssa's list.
This is where you got the potato.
This is where Drayden starts. So this is her cook sheet. And then this is my carbohydrates section. Okay. So this is where Drayden preps the rice, preps his potatoes. He's walked away now. This is his measurements, and then this is his list that he does when he comes in.
Nice.
Yes. These are the ovens we cook at. Sometimes we use this side, but usually we stay over here. These are my ground meats that Edgar's got started. He's starting turkey first.
Okay. Nice.
And then Jeff and Drayden here are working on carb sections. And this is Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff
How are you?
helps manage the kitchen.
Nice.
So he does everything too. He knows the kitchen front to back. And then this would be we've got 40 pounds of yams going. Thank you. 40 pounds of yams going and 20 pounds of golden potatoes. Yes. And they're going to take them back. They're boiling. And then that's the dish pit. I don't know if you want to go in there.
It's your cooler?
But over here is our walk-in where we cool our meats.
Okay.
So currently, Alyssa has her chicken done. It's being worked on.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So we've got eggs.
Nice.
Here she's got some flavors going in here.
Oh, yeah. Yummy.
This is a competitor prep, plain.
Okay.
Nothing added to that.
Nice.
Oh. And we've defrosted. So these are waiting for Alyssa. This is her codfish, and then we've got her mahi down low,
okay,
and her salmon. So as she finishes her shrimp, she'll come and do all of these in one strike.
Okay. When do you do the shopping for all that?
I do the shopping before I come in today.
Okay.
So I shop fresh and we cook fresh.
Nice.
Although when I order from distributors such as Cisco, I order from them every Thursday and they deliver to me on Friday.
Oh, nice.
And then I bring that into certain items I buy in super bulk, so I buy from those guys.
Nice.
Then the rest we get a lot from Restaurant Depot, but that stuff I can grab right on the way in.
Okay,
and
okay.
Since I cook fresh, and as you see, we only cook what we need. So due to that, it tells me every week how much to buy.
Yeah, there's no waste.
Yeah.
So you need to have people's order usually by like Saturday, 8 p.m.
Yeah, Saturday at 8 p.m. the window closes. Saturday at 8 p.m. till midnight, I'm calculating, I'm getting everything ready, and then Sunday I come and buy it all.
Okay.
And everything's dished out.
Nice.
So yes, as you see, she's using her measuring cups. She's measuring because each one of her bowls weighs different and contains a different measurement of each flavor.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool.
Yes. Now they're going to turn these into garlic mashed. And we use fresh clove garlic that Jeff's getting right now. And same thing, that will be measured to the pound. So again,
Awesome.
we're not tampering with numbers. So we're not having a super garlicky week and then a light garlic week.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay consistent. So they're gonna measure it. We do not saute our garlic. It is going to be steamed in there.
Okay. So cool.
And now we're going to put the mashed potatoes on top so they can steam the garlic.
So again, there's gonna be no oil, no dairy going on in there at all, no butter. It is the actual potato itself, as if you mashed it on your plate at the,
Awesome.
So,
Very cool. All right. Packing day. Day 2. Wow. It looks great.
thank you.
So you've been here since 6 a.m. today
Yes.
doing all this. Wow.
We are officially packing in our vegetable round.
Okay.
This is round 3 of the meals. We first start with weighing all of the protein in each meal individually.
Okay.
Then we come through with our measuring cups of carbs. And then we come through and we fill in our gaps with the vegetables.
Wow.
Now, we have different types of customers. We have customers that have specifications. So these customers like no Brussels, no sweet potato, whatever they're asking, we will hand make their vegetables first so we don't have mistakes. Those get knocked out right away. Then we come in with our mix it up and surprising batches and we fill in all the gaps. Over here is my custom table.
Talk to me about that.
So these are our athletes or competitors who come in and they need sides and everything weighed or measured. So they're intricate, detailed. So I come through and I actually weigh all of their sides, all of their carbs, all their proteins. I keep track on my competitors too, how many weeks out they are from their shows. I keep up with them. They talk to me about their coaches. They send their coaches plans over. Their meals are ever changing. She's changed her meals. We've been doing her meals about 8 weeks now. She's changed about 4 times in that cut. She started at a 16-week prep. So we're going through. This guy, he's a jiu-jitsu fighter. He actually wins. He does very well. He's a high up there in the Naga. And so he has to have oil drizzle. Lisa Malloy writes his diet plans. So we work with Lisa, and I call her, make sure I've got it all right, dialed in. We make his plans for him too. She diets him down for his fights. This is our 3rd time doing his.
Oh, you still do Iris? Look at that, Miss Olympia. Awesome. I saw on your Instagram the little video you did at our gym back in the day. That was great.
Yep, Iris has been fun. Her meals are ever changing too.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes she's got larger meals, she's got smaller meals, so I always kind of know what she's doing, whether she's putting on or cutting her.
Now, you were telling me yesterday that this section right here, you do yourself, and tell me why.
Yes. So this area I do myself because I usually take these as consultation calls. They're not just someone who's just sending in an order. Like this guy, we actually wrote his out on a spreadsheet because I cook his entire week, his entire plan. So I hand make those in myself while my staff builds the rest of them. And I normally have 3 helpers plus my son on this side. So they run that whole table smooth. I stick to this side because I don't want mistakes. And especially since I talk to these people and I promise them everything's gonna be taken care of. I hold myself here while the staff does the rest. Also, if for some reason there is a mistake or a question, they call, then I'm the one who did it. I'm accountable for either owing the apology or explaining what happened. And then sometimes it's just they mix something up too. So sometimes it's maybe I accidentally put the jam in there, but that's so rare that happens. But that I can explain or.
So you're basically the one that are basically competitors, or the one that have a very specific diet. You do yourself because you want to be sure that they're actually getting what they.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, and if there's any problems or questions, you know for sure what happened.
Because it was me.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Yeah. So and then I've got here some of my competitors. They prefer to prep their own, so they just order bulk.
Yeah.
Like Ron orders the 10 pounds of cod.
He likes the shrimp. He told me.
Chicken. Yeah, they like to do their own. Some of them, they don't.
Yeah.
We do a la carte too if requested. So like sometimes they only need the protein. I will work with them. Also, I do egg whites upon request as well. I don't carry it on the menu, but I support the goals. So when somebody's like ready to commit, this guy buys 12 of them a week. I'm like, okay. So we cover all of his eggs.
It's gonna be really tough. I mean, especially at 300 to 400 meals per week, to actually make sure. Like, look at all this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be. It would drive me nuts.
This whole table is organized by. I separate the tickets into 6 categories. So we start with our no vegetables. So if they say no Brussels, no onion, no something,
I said that.
It's going to be this section. Yeah. If you specified like a vegetable request, broccoli, you want broccoli only, then you're going to be in that section. As it goes down, you're in their section. So that way, we've learned my time would speed up twice as fast by having the tickets organized.
Yeah.
Taking that extra 15 minutes to sit there and read every ticket,
we'll save a lot of time.
Notes, we save so much time just to sit there and put these tickets on here strategically. Versus when I first started, we had them everywhere.
I know.
And we were like
confused.
Spinning circles.
Of course.
And then just the more we've got dialed in, we perfected all these.
It's a process, to refine how you do it, just by prepping your invoice and everything. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It's been quite the journey.
Yeah.
We've got it down now. Especially the longer that my employees are with me.
Yes.
Then it's like we're just an autopilot, and we have kind of learned how to work with each other, who goes where, how to lead. So that's a big one. It's just being in sync with each other.
Yeah. How great.
Yeah. And so down here will be our groups that are less requests. They're going to be people that are just like, surprise me, I like everything.
Yes.
And then so that side's going to go the fastest.
Yes.
We're scooping. We generally make patterns too. So if you order 12 meals, we have 4 different complex carbs. We have yams, garlic, golden potatoes, white rice, and brown rice. So if you order 12 meals and you say, surprise me, we'll make sure that you're going to get 1 of each for each. So you'll have 3 of each. So we'll make you a pattern. If you go down our table, you'll see patterns going. For people who don't specify, you're going to notice patterns. Or patterns like this person who requested all potato and all yams. So see how the requests are going to go together? It helps us stay organized and avoid mistakes.
Do you have a lot of mistakes? Does that happen?
No. We actually don't. It's maybe once or twice a month I get a call, and it's something. Sometimes we just mix up a carb, or it's not usually anything detrimental.
That's awesome.
I'm very surprised some weeks where I'm like, we had like a heavy week, we were under the pressure, and I'm like, you're hoping, and we
That's
sell.
great.
Yeah, we do good, and we do little things too to stop ourselves from mistakes, such as our like vegetable onlys. We turn them upside down, so you'll notice all the meats are on top. But when we hit a vegetable only, it's going to flip upside down. This stops us as we're going. We go, whoa, why is that upside down?
I see.
Don't put carbs in there. It's telling me something.
I see.
Yeah, so the meal's upside down. It's talking to you, telling you, slow down, pay attention to what you're doing.
Yes.
Before you touch me again, because we're stopping ourselves from mistakes.
Very cool.
We've made the mistake before, so we've learned how to signal to each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very well organized, I have to say. It's impressive seeing it all done.
Yes.
It looks great.
Yep.
Very cool.
The interesting intricate part too is learning to add like your shrinkage. I was thinking about that after our talk yesterday. Is the shrinkage account is so detailed that each protein has a different shrink. So when I first started, that was something that was short. We'd be like, why are we short? Because I sell in cooked weight. If you order a 4-ounce meal,
that's
you're
important.
getting 4 ounce cooked.
That's important.
Yes. So you order 6 ounces, you're going to get 6 ounces cooked. Now, the shrinkage, if you're ordering chicken, it shrinks 50%. So I need to cook, 8 ounces to get to 6.
Yeah.
Or 4, so we're... So that's
Not everyone does that. I have to point that out.
I spend a lot of time adding in like those charts I was showing you yesterday with all my cooks.
Yeah.
All of those, if I get 20 pounds, 40 pounds of chicken, I've got to cook 60 pounds to land at 40 pounds cooked.
Guarantee that not every company does that.
And each one of my proteins is different.
Yeah.
So like the shrimp is 60%. My turkey is 35%. And we learned this by how much are we short and calculating and doing the numbers every week until we weren't short anymore. No more store runs. We have it right where we'll always have a little bit left over, cook a little extra.
That's so important because that's why I think a lot of people end up with having less protein per meal because they probably figure, okay, I'll measure 4 ounces of chicken uncooked.
Yeah.
By the time you cook it, there's like 2.5, 3 ounces left.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
so that's important to know.
Yep.
Yes.
So we add in that extra before cooking. So then by the time we get to it, we have your cooked weight.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Wow. I think people are going to feel really good about seeing the process. You don't always see that all the time. How do you actually prep the meal and do all that? That's a great operation you got.
And then we cook with very, very small amount of avocado oil. So we literally use like a half a teaspoon per sheet pan, our huge sheet pans, and those hold 8 to 10 pounds of meat.
Okay.
So we're only adding a half a teaspoon and we use heat friction of a rubber spatula to spread it. So we're really not tampering with the fats of the meat either.
That's awesome.
And then our vegetables come steamed, so we're not adding any fats to those. Our carbs are all steamed as well. So you're getting the pure food that you're ordering. It's the real whole food.
The macros are exact.
Yeah. So if I have customers sometimes who want higher fat, they just add avocado to their meal. Or I get the people like this who ask me to drizzle a little oil.
Yeah.
So I work with that too. If you want a little more healthy fats in there, I'll throw them on. Or then
but unless it's being asked, you don't do it.
Yeah. If they don't ask, then they're handling it on their own, or they eat low fat they just eat low fat. Or I have some cheese lovers that sneak cheese when I'm not watching. They'll send me pictures of their cheese and their salsas on it. I'm like, okay. But they're still, even those guys, they're losing weight, they're making goals, and they're, just how clean the meal is, even with their little extras they like to add. They send me their sauces. I get all kinds of pictures of fun things they're doing.
That's exciting. It's great.
Warm them in the microwave. I have people who warm them in the air fryer. Or anti-microwave.
What do you recommend? So let's say they come in. Are they going to be frozen by the time people get them, or
They will come fresh.
Okay.
As is.
Okay.
It is their option to freeze.
Okay.
If you're ordering a week's worth, I suggest freezing
Yeah.
at least the second half.
Right.
There's no preservatives. There's nothing in here that's going to make it last longer than 4 days.
So out of 10 meals, you'd say freeze half, so 5.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Generally, I myself have been eating yogurt for so long, I freeze them all.
Okay.
I don't want to have to remember, oh no, I have meals.
Right.
If I get invited out, I don't want to think, oh no, my meal in the fridge is going bad. I just freeze them all. I personally think that a meal frozen on day 1 is fresher than a meal 4 days in the fridge. To me personally, I feel like my vegetables have wilted by 4 days versus in the freezer, they're still like brand new.
And then when it's time for you to eat, do you actually thaw it out, or do you put it straight in the microwave, or how do you do it?
I go straight to the microwave.
Okay.
But I do have customers who prefer to thaw.
Okay.
So I have customers, they have a rotation system.
Okay.
They keep 2 in the fridge, the rest in the freezer, and then when they pull one out, they pull it, they trade it.
Tell me what you do.
So I personally freeze them all and go straight to the freezer. I'm just bam, bam, bam. I want to eat, I gotta go.
And then how long do you put it in the microwave once it's like solid frozen?
When it's frozen, I do 5 minutes.
Okay.
When it's in the fridge, I do 4.
Okay.
And then I tell my customers, I'm one who likes my vegetables a little softer, so I add a little extra time to extra steam them. You can steam them, you can cook them with the lid on, just pop the lid and
Okay.
leave it on there so it never splashes, which
Okay.
they don't usually explode, but just in case.
Yeah.
You can leave the lid on it and it'll steam cook inside.
Oh.
But then I have people, like I said, they put them in the air fryer. Some people put them in pans and they add a little water and they put the lid on the pan and they warm it on the stove. I've heard of all different, everyone
Okay.
has their different ways. But I think most of them are microwaving.
And 5 minutes is easy.
Yeah.
It's directly frozen. Okay, 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 cool.
And the larger the meal, you might need a little more time. This
Yeah.
is our 8-ounce size. So we have 3 different size containers too. So that way it helps us know what size we're working with. Our 4-ounce is this littler guy.
Oh, it's almost the same.
And then, yeah, so then this is a 6-ounce. So see the height difference here of the meal?
Oh, I see.
So if I match it to the table. So 4-ounce,
Yeah.
6-ounce, and then this is the 8-ounce. It's rounder.
I see.
So you can tell as the meals go, the different sizes, which also helps us as we're prepping them because we have the 3 different size scoops for each different carb size for the meals. So you'll stop yourself because you see that you're on the wrong size container if you have the different scoop in your hand. So
Well, you got it down. Your operation here. It's great.
yeah, we did start with 1 size container, and as I got more and more, and then
Yeah.
the restaurant stores, I was able to find all the different sizes and get the ones that fit perfectly. Yeah.
Wow. So now delivery after this when
Yes.
it's all done?
So they're going to deliver. Alyssa here is writing our bags. We write everybody's names, and
Nice.
then we write the codes. So this must be my leftovers. And here, Dryden, would you please go put those in the cooler? So we write codes here. So you're going to see on your bag, you'll have your name and your code. And this is Mahana, who works with Urban Botanicals. We deliver to their office every week. And each ticket's going to have a code in the top corner. These are my drivers and the number on their route. So usually I have 4 drivers. This week I have 3. But yeah, so each ticket you're going to see different codes, and that's how, as we load the chest, it's going to be right in order. So my drivers are going in order. They're not going to make mistakes. They know what they're doing. I also write the number of meals per order. This way, each driver counts their bag before they hand it off. We also count it upon bagging. We triple check. Everything is counted twice here, counted as it's bagged, and counted when it's handed over. So we're pretty on top of it.
I've seen you deliver a meal sometimes.
Yes. So then we have here, as we start bagging and pulling things out, we'll fix everything. But these are our delivery routes. So today I have 3 drivers, Edgar, Sara, and Alyssa. And these will be the codes. So S1, S2, S3 as they go down. We
Nice.
deliver to gyms as well. We have a few gyms on here. And we do free deliveries to their gyms if the gym establishment allows us to. Then they'll use them as a pickup. So we currently have pickup at Snap Fitness in Boulder City and D1 training in Henderson.
Nice.
And then
Very cool.
we do some deliveries over to Powerhouse or Raw Fitness, but those the customers will meet or the staff will hold them till they come. Elevation, same thing. We'll deliver to their gym, and we have some meals in their fridge.
Yeah.
We work. We're working with Torture Gym and getting meals into their fridge now too.
That's
So
a great
our
idea.
Next adventure.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
And then we have a Best Western as well. So
Nice.
that one's exciting. That was a big one to get. So we've been.
You told me yesterday off camera you're gonna start doing some of these outings at downtown Summerlin, which
Yes.
is really exciting.
Yes. So we just got into the downtown Summerlin Farmers Market.
Yeah.
And that's in the outdoor mall where they have all the outlet shopping.
On what day?
And yep, every week they do on Fridays they do the outlet mall, and it's filled with booths everywhere. And they have fresh vegetables, people who make soaps,
That's
handmade.
great.
It's all organic things. It's a lot of fun. And I love to host the booths because everybody tries the food. You
Yep.
get a lot more customers through it.
Yeah.
That
That could be really good for you.
Yep.
Very cool.
Did you want to start lighting? Yeah, we can start lighting. They were waiting for the cue.
Oh, okay.
Usually I'll stop and I'll take pictures of the table so I can post it every
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
So they know, like, once we're done, let me get my snaps in. But I have millions, so we will do that another time.
Yeah, people really have to check out your Instagram. It's interesting. I looked
Yeah.
at it yesterday and awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yep.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for showing us your operation. It's very impressive to see it
you.
up close. Yeah, very cool.
It's going. We've got your meals coming. We'll get yours packed and out of here before you head out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We're gonna make sure to put the Instagram in there. We're gonna make sure to reach out to Sarah. You guys, if you're competitors, just want to get back in shape. If you have any questions, she helps with your your diet need as well. So if you have any questions, they can hit you up and send you a DM.
Consultation. You can call me personally at 702-919-2020.
Okay.
That's you'll talk directly to me to work on your custom plan.
That's awesome. Well, good luck and thank you for having us in your great operation.
Yes, thank you for coming in.
All right.
For the income, right?